Okay, don't spill the tea.
No, we have to spill the tea. Do you know what that means?
No.
Spilling the tea?
No, what's spilling the tea mean?
It's like a it's like a term for like gossiping.
Oh.
If you spill the tea. Like
Oh,
tea.
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, tea is like a word for gossip, and
Okay.
spilling the tea means you are like doing the act of gossiping.
Okay, so we're going to spill the tea.
We're gonna spill the tea.
Okay.
The hypothetical tea, not the real tea.
Okay, so just so you know what's going on right now, I'm Peter Yurden.
And I'm Jordan Ross.
And we're going to talk, Jordan and Peter Talk Theater.
It's the name of our new podcast where we talk to you about all things theater.
Yeah, especially our experiences, because we've been friends for now 12 years, 13 years. Yeah, we've been
13 years. Yep.
13 years we've been together. So we're gonna talk a little bit about our history. We're going to talk a little bit about upcoming shows, and we're just going to have some fun with this. There's no real script on it. We're just going to go and. But I will say that if you see this and you've got a show coming out, shoot it out to us, and we'll try to promote it for you.
Maybe we'll even get you on the show to talk about it.
Ooh, that would be exciting.
Yeah, hit us up.
That's Jordan's gig because she's the techie here. I'm just here.
Do you know what it means to hit us up?
No, what does it mean to hit us up? Oh, hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up.
Send us stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
This is the show where we talk theater and I teach Peter Gen Z lingo.
Yeah, because I believe it or not, I'm not a Gen Zer. I'm what is it I'm called? Oh yes. I'm an old man. No.
That's the technical term.
Yeah. I'm a boomer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a boomer. I know it's hard to imagine that I'm that old, but but I am a boomer.
Wow. Okay,
yeah.
boomer.
Yeah. And I've heard that before too. Not necessarily from Jordan though.
It was just the right time. Okay. Yeah.
So,
anyways,
let's get started. So our very first show together was Miracle on 34th Street, and I produced it.
It was a show that we did with a group called the Brockville Theater Guild in 2014. So 12 years ago.
I guess that's how you remember because I was thinking, how do you remember that? But do the math.
Well, I have not grown since 2014. And I still wear my sweatshirt that I got from that show. I actually wore it 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. I, on the other hand, have grown. Quite extensively, actually. I think I was in pretty good shape for that show. I think that was back when I used to work out. But anyway, that's a whole other story and a whole other life.
A whole episode. We'll talk about Peter's workout plan.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do to get back in shape as a boomer.
Okay. So, yeah, talk about Miracle on 34th Street, Peter.
Well, Miracle on 34th Street, it was directed by Becky Bridger, and she did a wonderful job. Becky, I've worked with Becky on a couple of shows now. I've cast her in a couple of shows, and she's cast me in a couple of shows. And she's a wonderful director. She knows how to get the best out of everybody. Yeah, we've done like Miracle on 34th Street, and the other show we're going to talk about a little bit later. But yeah, and I've done a couple of things with her, and she's wonderful. Of course, I said I produced the show, and we took a little sidestep on this whole thing with the kids. We right in the middle of the show, we had this. We just stopped the show and had this segment that was kind of based on being in the store. It was Macy's store or whatever at Christmas time. And we had elves and comics and the whole kind of, and we sang. It was really kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it was a cool show. Based on the movie, obviously, Miracle on 34th Street. It's a great story. It was my first show that I had done with any large community theater group. I had done shows with school in elementary school before that, but this was the first show that I had done with an actual group. I played one of the children that came into the department store and spoke with Santa Claus.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I asked for a puppy for Christmas, and I actually have a story that I think of fondly when I think of this show. I was a fresh. I thought I was 13, but now looking back on it, I think I was 14 actually.
Okay.
And so I was a fresh 14-year-old, and in school I was learning how to play the trumpet in music class. And during plays, there's not always a lot going on in between the scene changes. So the production team had decided that they were going to get a couple musicians to come out and do some little music to accompany the scene changes to make it a little bit more exciting. And I mentioned that I was learning how to play the trumpet, and they didn't test my trumpet playing abilities before they were like, yeah, totally, you can come and play the trumpet. So most of the time it actually went quite well, but I'd only been playing the trumpet for a couple months. And I remember very fondly on one of the performances, I came out and I just absolutely did the most butchered rendition of Jingle Bells that you've ever heard. And it sounded horrible, but I was a very small 14-year-old, so I can only imagine that the audience thought that I was a very cute but very unskilled musician.
Very much so in that one show. Now, Jordan and I talked a little bit about this before we flipped the on switch, and she goes, "I imagine people don't remember it," and I don't.
Well, thank goodness. I remember it, and I will take it to my grave. And I don't play the trumpet anymore, so maybe it scarred me.
Well, it's funny though because that's the beauty of live theater, because you never know what's going to happen. The other three performances, she nailed it, as well as a 14-year-old who had 2 months experience playing the trumpet could nail it. But and then all of a sudden, so if you miss one show, who knows? Nobody else cared. Maybe they've made a thought we planned it.
Yes, yeah, maybe they thought it was a comedy relief moment. Hopefully that's what people thought. They thought it was just part of the show, and I will accept that. And that will be my new excuse, that it was just part of it. Coming into comedy relief moments, in that show, Peter actually himself played quite of a comedy relief character.
Yes, I end up getting fired from the store because I showed up. I was drunk Santa. Normally when I produce a show, I don't perform in the show, but it was just a walk-on part, maybe 5 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
And wasn't really sensible to cast anybody for a 5-minute walk-on, so I was drunk Santa.
Yeah, it's great. Peter's actually the whole reason that the show makes any sense. Because if the original Santa they hired would have done a good job, then the rest of the story wouldn't have existed. But thank goodness for drunk Santa. That is the spirit of Christmas, I think.
I've never thought of it quite that way, but I truly was the hero of the whole show.
You are, yeah.
That's right. Kris Kringle wouldn't be if it wasn't for drunk Santa.
Thank
Wow.
God.
And I nailed it.
For drunk Santa.
I didn't get drunk, though.
Darn.
No.
Or so he says.
Yeah, well, you have to be in character. What can I say?
Exactly. You can never share your secrets.
No.
All right. Well, that's the first show we did together.
Yeah. The second one was another Theater Guild production.
It was.
And that was The Crucible. Now, that's another show I did with Becky Bridger. At one point, I actually wanted to be in the show because it's such a challenging show. It truly is. But and I'm not sure. This is funny, kind of. But so Becky came to me and she asked me to produce the show with her because she was going to direct it. And I said, "Oh, that's such a good show. I think I'd like to be in it." She goes, "Yeah, but I can't guarantee you a part." I went, "Oh, yeah, I guess," because there's a lot of talented actors in this show, in this town actually. But anyway, it was one of those things that I thought about it and I went, yeah, maybe I'll drop a line here or there. And so anyway, I produced the show. I wasn't even anything in the show except kind of the go-to guy. The thing about producing a show, and Jordan's going to learn this because she's done a couple of productions with me as the producer, is that if everything goes right nobody even knows who you are, right? If something goes wrong, you're the first person they put under the bus,
Yeah.
and you're the first person they go screaming to. What? Anyway.
Yeah. It's a bit of a thankless job, but
Yeah.
it's
But
an important role for sure.
yeah, and I love doing it, and I also take on the role a lot of times as the production manager, and that's just the guy that works with everybody. You work with the cast, you work with the theater, you work with the build crew, and that was a pretty extensive build. We had flies and everything for that show.
I bet. Well, I don't think everybody is super familiar with the story of the Crucible. Could you share a little bit about it?
Okay, so the story of the Crucible is about the Salem witch trials, and about John, who's the lead in the show, and he's everybody's accused of being a witch at some point or another, and he ends up getting stoned, I think. Yeah, I remember Dave Cody. Dave Cody. They did. I know we don't actually show the stoning, but Dave Cody was accused of being a witch, in his character, and his death came by oppressing. You know what oppressing is?
Explain it to us.
Okay, so oppressing is where they lay you on a bench and they just start piling huge, heavy rocks on your chest until you either confess to being a witch, in which case they keep piling the rocks on because they want to kill you, or you don't confess to being a witch and they keep piling rocks on you because until they kill you. So it's a really a no-win situation.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Really a no-win
Yeah.
situation.
So
Goodness.
that was and that was based on a true story.
It is. Yes.
So
You know what? It actually just made me think when you mentioned Dave Cody, how versatile you have to be as an actor.
Oh,
Because Dave Cody also played Santa Claus.
that's right.
And then he got stoned.
Yeah.
Not the type of stoned that you're thinking of.
No.
The other kind of stoned with stones.
Yeah. He got flattened. Now we didn't show that, and that was a pretty cool show too because it was. I got a funny story.
Okay.
So and my daughter, my daughter is in theater. She actually works in theater, and she used to be really into props and stuff like that, and she's got a little bit of a macabre sense of humor as well. So one time I was sitting there and I'm thinking, oh, I need to. So anyway, she walked into the set, and I said, I got a job for you, and she goes, what's that? I said, you're really good at building nooses, right? I need you to build me a hangman's noose. And she did. I gave her the rope, and she came back about 10 minutes later and that was her claim to fame in the show. I mean, she did lots of other things. She's a very good lighting designer, but she's also very good at props, and that was her claim to fame in the Crucible. So there's a noose that's quite, because that's how they used to hang them, right? They used to hang them, or that's how they used to kill them, was they'd hang them, and unless they stoned them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Really dark themes here, but a very, very interesting show.
it was. It was. And you know what? And some of the actors in that show, I still think it was their best work.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some talented people in that. Peter Lynch was in that show, and I think he gave, like, in Peter Lynch. If you know Peter at all, he's very good actor. But I think his portrayal of the minister in this show was just incredible. He's just amazing. Even Rod Jones did a really good job. I often tell Rod when I see him, I think that was his best performance of anything I've ever seen him in. But,
yeah, Rod played my father in that show.
yes, he did.
I played a character named Betty Paris, who was a 10-year-old. I was at the ripe age of 17 playing a 10-year-old, and I remember being a little salty about it, but that's okay. You know what? That's all about what acting is. Just being able to play people that you're not. And the whole opening of the show was I was sick in bed or dying or something, and my father was very sad about it and brought in doctors and people to try and figure out what was going on. And then I had to, like, jump out of bed
Yes.
and be like possessed. It was very fun. I had to run around the stage like screaming, and I remember there being some very cool lighting cues to make it seem like I was really possessed and all this stuff. It was very fun,
Yeah.
but that took about, I'd say, a solid like 10 or 15 minutes to actually get to that.
That was a pretty good performance, actually. I mean, you did. I think about that, you jumping on the bed now, but it also makes me think of the whole show and the whole theme. And that was one of the parts where, because the lighting for that show was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when she kind of loses it, um, Becky, our director, decided that the lights would lose it kind of with her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we were adjudicated. He didn't like that fact, but who cares? Um, I, I shouldn't say that, but um, we were adjudicated, and that was the one fall thing. He didn't think it was because it wasn't supposed to be bewitched. It wasn't true. Well, you know what?
It added to the effect.
It certainly did.
Made it interesting.
It certainly did. That was an award-winning show for us.
It was.
Yeah, we won. Well, um, interesting part. We had our lead. Chris came in with about 3 weeks left
Mm-hmm.
and had to learn a whole new part. And he nailed it. And he actually got recommended for a Best Actor award at the EODL Festival that year.
Yeah.
And we took a lot home that year.
Yeah. It's been a long time since Chris has made it on the stage.
Yes.
Chris, if you're watching this, we want you back.
Yes, Chris, you're very talented, and we'd like to have you back.
That was, I think, my introduction into the production world, because that was the show that you let me assistant produce with you. I was the assistant producer in that show, so I did things like just helped you with general things.
Yeah,
did the program.
The program, was that your co-op?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was my co-op in high school.
Yeah, so so that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and that was kind of, I won't say it was, it was basically the start of our working together relationship that way, because we've done a lot of things since then, and we're continuing to do a lot of stuff, including this podcast.
Yeah, here we are. And I still have the shirt from that show as well. Still wear that one regularly as well. And on the back of it, I had written assistant to the producer. Oh. And if anybody is a fan of The Office, you'll understand that reference.
Yeah. The thing about theater, especially in Brockville, is that we have two very great production companies. Well, we have several great production companies. But the two ones that have been around for a while are the Theater Guild and the Operatic Society, Brockville Theater Guild and the Brockville Operatic Society. And between the two of us, we have a vast amount of talent that we're able to display on our magnificent stage here. We really do. Yeah.
It is just lovely. It's been around for how long?
Oh, 1858.
Wow.
So it's actually being designated a heritage building. It's up for the vote.
Wow.
So that they have to be very careful about what they do to it. And if you ever have a chance to see a show at the Art Center, you won't be disappointed. You might be disappointed in the show, but you won't be disappointed in the theater. So our next show that we did together was in Kingston.
Well, it wasn't quite the next show.
No, it wasn't.
There were many in between, but this is the next one that we're going to talk about.
Yes,
because
the next show on our list.
There are too many to talk about all in one episode. We've tried to do this before, actually. I'm outing us a little bit here.
Yeah, so our first attempt at this podcast went for over an hour.
Yeah, so we learned that we talk too much, and we need to be better at categorizing things.
And I really don't think we're being successful, but...
Probably not, but that's for the editing room.
Yeah,
Woo!
So a lot of this is probably going to hit the cutting room floor.
We'll see. Yeah. Anyways, we've done a lot of talking about the shows that we've done in Brockville, but actually last year we ventured out. We went on a road trip. We headed out set sail to the grand city of Kingston, where we performed
Shot the ribbon. We shot the ribbon.
I don't know what that means.
It means we went down the highway. We shot the ribbon.
Look at that. You're teaching me lingo now, too.
See, that's boomer stuff.
That's boomer lingo for you, folks. All right. Well, we joined the Kingston Meister Singers, which is a very lovely theater group in Kingston, for their production of
Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde, the musical. How did that one come to be, Peter?
Well, that's kind of one of those things that um, we were out. We were out for a lunch and a drive, and we were just having a little meeting. And part of our drive, we went all over the country that day. Just
All over the country.
all over the countryside. We did. We did. Well, we did. We started in Brockville. We ended up just east of Ottawa
Mm-hmm.
because we went and got cheese.
We went to St. Albert's.
Yeah,
Got some
and we
curd.
we went to that. And I can never remember the place because I'm bad for memory stuff like this. But we went to that
Yes.
ruined church.
Yes.
It's just east of here, north of Cornwall, east of here. I want to say St. Raphael's, but I know I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right.
St. Raphael's.
I think you're right.
It's a beautiful building. But anyway, part of it was just us being together, having some time, and Jordan says, "Oh, I'm trying out for this show in Kingston," and I went, "Oh, what's that?" She went, "Bonnie and Clyde," and I went, "Are there any parts for old men in that show?" I think I said old men,
You did.
and she went,
Yeah. There sure is.
so and
Boomer.
actually said, "I don't know, let's see," and she pulled out her phone.
Okay, maybe that's what happened.
And that's exactly what happened. And so she pulled out her phone and she goes, "Oh yeah, there's the," and I went out for the preacher. I didn't get the preacher part, but I did get a pretty cool role.
Mm-hmm.
I was Clyde's dad.
Clyde's dad.
I had 6 lines in the whole show,
Mm-hmm.
but I was on stage a lot. I followed Clyde's mom around. I was kind of her whipping boy, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Can we say that?
I don't know.
Is that allowed? Whipping boy?
I don't know.
We're gonna say
It's
it.
better than what I was going to say.
Okay.
Anyway, and that was a fun show. There was and we had live band, which is always fun to play with a live band, and a few of like Jordan and I were from Brockville, and Chelsea Lee,
Mm-hmm.
who was on the drums, was also from Brockville. She's a very talented drummer, and so she got to. We got to travel up there, and we got to spend a couple nights, and it's like they do 10 shows.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing over 2
Crazy.
weekends. Over 2 weekends. So I have a friend that lives in Kingston, an acquaintance, more of an acquaintance, although she's a friend now, I think. And I just reached out to her and I said, "Do you think we could stay? You know, like would it be putting you out?" And she took all 3 of us in. She gave up her bed.
She did.
She gave up her bed for you and Chelsea.
She did.
And I was in the guest room, and she slept in the dog's room.
Shout out to Barb.
Yeah,
We love you, Barb.
Barb was just incredible. So like we spent 2 weekends with Barb,
Mm-hmm.
and she fed us, and she'd get up in the
Yeah.
morning, and and we'd have coffee, and then she'd go off on her merry way, and we had run of the house, and it was so anyway. Bonnie and Clyde.
This is the Barb show now.
This is the Barb show.
Yes,
Well, it's
Bonnie
funny.
and Clyde.
It's the people you meet when you're doing theater.
Mhm.
It's really amazing. I mean, and she's not even in theater. She did come and see it, and she really enjoyed it. But it was just so that was a fun show. And the funny part of it is, I got a part in it, and Jordan got a part in it, but not the part she wanted.
Oh, that's okay. I was in the ensemble, and you know what? It is interesting when you're part of a new theater group
Yes.
because the people that are pre-existing have already created like such great bonds and such great friendships,
Yes.
and they've worked together so much, and they kind of know each other's talents. So it is a little bit trickier to join something totally fresh, but that should not discourage you from it because you're always going to have a great experience. And I was just in the ensemble, but there are some really fun songs in that show.
Yes.
And sometimes being in the ensemble is a really fun part. For me specifically, I do love a good dance number.
Yes.
And you are almost guaranteed a good dance number when you are in the ensemble. So I had a blast.
Well, yeah, and I wasn't trying to. I was just thinking, it was kind of funny because, not that you didn't get the part you wanted, because I didn't get the part I wanted either. But the
Yeah,
fact
maybe
that
if you hadn't have come, I could have been Clyde's dad.
maybe,
Maybe.
but
Peter took the role from
I
me.
took the role. Anyway, but the thing about it is, it was almost at the beginning. It was because everybody knew everybody, except Jordan and I didn't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end of it, they accepted us as one of their own, and they've asked us to come out since then.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been able to do it.
We've been on too much stuff in our own neck of the woods, but maybe one day, Kingston Meister Singers, we will be
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, hopefully someday, because they were fun to work with, and they're a good group. They really are. They got their own little place that they work in. They've got all kinds of really cool things, and this was at the new French School Theater that
Mm-hmm.
they have there. So anyhow, I think that's it for now.
That's all we're going to talk about for now because I need to be able to export this video, and
Yes.
I won't be able to if it's as long as it was last time.
Oh, but I am going to give. So if we post this on YouTube, I guess the thing about YouTube is, if you like this video, subscribe, because we want some followers, I guess.
Yeah.
We want people to subscribe to our thing, hit the bell, and all those other little things that you're supposed to do. But before we go, I do want to
That
talk
was
about.
really good, by the way. That was really good promotion.
Was it?
Yeah, you
Huh?
did good.
Okay, thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. It's the old boomer guy. Sometimes I forget.
But what did we want to? We're gonna try and do a section on our episodes where we talk about anything that's new and upcoming and exciting and things that we think that you should know. So what are we gonna talk about today, Peter?
We're going to talk about Godspell.
Godspell.
Brockville Operatic Society is producing, and I'm producing,
And
with
directing.
and directing the musical Godspell. We're going into auditions on December 12th. So if you're interested in performing in Godspell, come on out on December 12th. Just go to the website for the Brockville Operatic Society, and it'll show you all the things you need to do to get an audition time.
It'll be very exciting. You won't regret it. And Peter's a really fun director to work with.
Yeah, we've done a couple of shows where I've directed, and it's you know what, my performing days, except for little parts, are pretty much over. But when you're the director or the producer, you get to be part of it. That's the big thing about theater, is there's so many things that you can do, whether it's on stage performing. We're always looking for help in the builds, so if you've got a little bit of idea about construction, even if you don't, if you can hammer a nail, come on down. We'll teach you. On behalf of myself, Peter,
And myself, Jordan.
you've been watching Jordan and Peter,
Talk theater.
and we'll see you again real soon.
Sometime. Bye.
Who loves you, baby?